Another episode of Better Late and Clever. It's getting more interesting the more we find, the more people we talk to, digging deep into their memories, and out to come in gems, absolute gems. This is a quickly put together program. We've been waiting for some material to come through. Fortunately, it's come through, so we're going to go with it. We will be talking to the CEO of United Welsh. Lovely interview, great guy, Richard. It was super down there in Adamsdown when we did it, and you'll see him talking about things. We tricked him into doing something as well, because as you know, we do now a little thing that that is usually done in selfie. What my mother said, and we got him to say one, so everybody's saying them now. It doesn't matter how famous they are or rich. And then he came up during the interview. You'll see this, and I promised you would see the video properly. About he showed me the video of how they have done some temporary housing in Cardiff to ease the homelessness there, because it's a big problem down there. So that's a mention there, and we now have the video, which incidentally I've only seen Richard's video, so I don't know what the one you're going to see is like, but I'm sure it'll be cool. Then we are going to have a look, feet on the ground, down to earth, a Chinese auction. Anyone been to a Chinese auction? I had never been to a Chinese auction, so I thought, aha, here we go. It is the most fun you could ever have with all your clothes on. I'm not kidding. It is absolutely... Auction? No, it's not quite the same. They get a load of prizes around the table, and they stick cups in front of them. They put... You buy tickets, very cheap, £1 a strip, put in whatever you fancy of the items, and they go around. If they pull your ticket out, you get the item for the money that you paid for the ticket. Really cool idea, but it's loads of fun because there's loads of items, and it's very embarrassing if, like us, I was with a resident from another place. We went away with a carrier bag full of items, because it seemed that every time she pulled a number out of the thing and called 150, 142, yes, that's me, yes, that's me, yes, that's me. It was really good fun. Not because I won half the prizes. In between, we're going to drop in some little things my mother used to say, and two of them, you won't know what they're talking about unless you're from right up in the top of this country, hidden away in the depths of Scotland, and you happen to have this come on your computer. Just listen. And if you are interested, you will have to write, email us, and then we'll give you the translation. But until that time, you'll just have to not know what's going on. So this is that one, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. Certainly the homeless, what they're doing to try and help it is amazing. It's an amazing thing. And it came, as you'll notice in this, from not the top, but from someone on the ground floor making a suggestion, a lady called Wendy, which I haven't been able to find yet. But don't worry, I will, and we'll get a selfie of her without telling anybody. Okay, so have a look at it, and, share it, like it, or throw it in the bin.
Hi, my name is Carol. I'm at William Adams Court. Today we are holding a lovely Chinese auction. I wish there was more people here to it, but never mind, we are having a lovely time. Thank you.
So I'm John Pountney. I am the photographer here behind Changemakers, which you can see some of it behind me. We're in Cardiff Library, and I've taken all the pictures over the last few months. We've got a selection of civilians and famous faces, and here we have Pete, who you will know from the podcast.
What are you doing? You filming?
Hey, hi guys.
Well, we are in Newtown Lodge this morning for a great interview. Well, we've been talking for a long time, and now he's got to get back to work, unfortunately. You know what these CEOs are like. This is Richard Mann.
Hello.
And he is at the top of the tree, we'll call it that. Richard, just give us a little bit of your background and where you're from and that.
Well, I'm Richard Mann. I'm group chief executive at United Welsh Housing Association. So that comprises of the housing association itself. We've got about just under 7,000 homes now, I think. We also have Celtic Horizons, which is a maintenance business. I think that employs about 200 plus people doing repairs. We have a factory, Celtic Offsite, and then we have another subsidiary company called Harmony Homes that does all of our new build and kind of for sale stuff. So that's where I am.
Well, I've seen you before this morning, and
You have.
and you let a certain cat out of the bag about Mary.
Okay.
This is a wonderful thing, I think.
Okay,
personally.
yeah. So the background to this is a big part of my job is really just getting out and meeting people. And the reason I do that is to get a feel for how the organisation is performing by talking to clients and talking to customers and tenants, and then talking to staff as well, because it's equally as important to me that staff's well-being and measured and these kind of things. And often that means for me just sitting around and having a cup of tea. So I go to various schemes, and one of the schemes I went to was Oak House, and Oak House is a temporary accommodation. And for those who don't know, it's not just in Wales, but across the whole of the UK at the moment. You hear about it all the time. It's the homelessness crisis. And the reality is we're just simply not building enough homes. And I'm not going to go into the details of why that's the case, but it's just really challenging
It is
to build
the
homes
case.
at the moment. Yeah. Cardiff, currently at the moment, for example, have a hotel up the top end in Covers Cross that's just rammed for homelessness. And that's, they're paying, I guess, 130, 140, 100 pound a night, whatever it is. And anyway, so I'm sat there, we're chatting with Mary, and I'm going, how are things? And things going well, is everyone all right in the property? And we got onto this conversation about the homelessness crisis. And I think it was Mary turned around and said, well, wouldn't it be good if we could build some units here? And I was kind of saying to her, what do you mean by that? And she was going, well, we've got this big garden space, and I'm sat there thinking, that's quite a good idea. And at the time, we'd set up a Celtic Offsite, which I just mentioned at the beginning, which is a factory building panels. We build our own homes. We build about 250 houses a year. And then they're like IKEA kits, basically. They come in, okay. But I was thinking, they might be able to do like a modular unit, which is something where you build the whole house in the factory. Yeah. And I was saying to Mary, I know there's a man we can talk to about this. And this is the MD of Celtic Offsite. And we went up and had this is Neil Robbins. So we went up and had a chat with Neil. And I said, Neil, have you ever had a go at doing this? And he said, oh, in my previous job, yeah, we had a go at doing modular. Let's have a look at it and see whether we can have a look at it. And that's one of the great things about my job in a way is I think sometimes people think there's a perception that we're the ideas generators and ideas come down. That's not the truth in any stretch of imagination. All the best ideas come from people who are actually immersed in the areas that they work for. What I try and do is try and capture them and see if we can make them happen. And this is just a perfect example of that with Mary. So this morning, we're probably about 9 months down the line since we had this cup of tea with Mary, and this morning I've never seen anything like it. There was this huge craning these pods over the roof of it's a 3-story building. These things weigh about 15 tons or so, and craning them in and putting them into the back garden, and that will provide, it's 4 new homes for people. Now it sounds a small number,
Yes,
but you have lots of small numbers and they become a big number. And so our hope is that now, having done that, we'll be able to do more of them. And the interesting thing, when we got chatting about Mary, when she posed the idea.
What is Mary? She's not the assistant chief CEO, is she?
No. Mary's one of the support workers. So she does the shifts, and we have people that come through Oak House that they come from a homelessness referral. So they will have lots of things going on in their lives, and we provide staff down there pretty much 24/7 that help people get through. And then the idea with Oak House then is that we prepare people for move on, so that effectively they can go on and then live independently. But Mary's one of the team that work down there in terms of supporting people. That was just incredible. So she actually, we did invite them, the whole team then, we brought them up to the factory to see the units being made. And then we got loads of videos, so maybe we'll try.
Well, I'm going to say that you're listening to all of this, and you're thinking, "Oh, why can't we see?" Well, after this is shown on the podcast, we'll get Richard send me the stuff. We'll put a collage together, and we will actually see, and it's quite impressive.
Oh, it is.
It's quite impressive.
I have to say, when you see this thing being craned up, your heart starts going. You're thinking, "Oh my God," because it's so massive on the end of this crane being lifted in. And I think they stuck a drone and a time lapse up, so we'll be able to see them coming in. So we'll try and share some of that.
Yes, if we can.
Of course. Yeah.
Well, we're indebted to Mary for coming up with the idea for
Thank you, Mary.
homes. Yes, thank you, Mary. And now, a bit traditionally on these interviews, in order to try and overcome a little bit of fear of technology, because there's a lot of that amongst our residents, a lot of it. We do a pod within the podcast. It is a selfie, and of course, when you mention that to people, I don't know what to. I just did one this morning. So what it is, it's just I'm so and so. Well, you've done that, Richard Mann. And this is something that my mother, my father, my grandmother used to say to me.
Okay.
And we'd like to get you to think back and tell us, this is something my used to say to me.
That's an interesting one, and it's not a difficult one. So I'm one of 3. I have an older brother and older sister. And if you ever see the photographs you see on social media of the kids that were halfway up a tree, or sticking a hose pipe up their nose, or on a bike jumping over a fence, that was me.
Oh, right.
And my mum always used to say to me, because I'm kind of constantly getting in trouble, wait until your father gets home. Now, my father, so I'm actually dual passport. I have dual nationality, so I'm Irish as well as Welsh. Although I consider myself Welsh. I was born in Wales. But my father's from Northern Ireland, so and he was a big old unit, my dad, and I knew I'd be in trouble then when my dad come home, as I'd go, pair of ripped jeans, or I've lost a shoe, or something like that, you know. And my mum would go, you wait till your father comes home, he'll sort this out. And it used to put the fear of God at me, knowing that he was going to come home because I'd be in trouble.
Well, we've all had it. I think most of us had fathers. Like I had a father for a while, like that.
I think the reality is it hasn't changed, by the way. So my mum is now 76, and I still mountain bike. I still do all of that kind of stuff. And she's always. My dad sadly passed away a number of years ago, but she's always going, "Oh my God, why are you doing this? Why do you keep doing this?" But,
she doesn't say grow up, does she?
So I can fire back now on that one, but no, she doesn't do that. But she always sort of like stressing about the kind of stuff that I get up to.
Yes.
And I think sometimes with the exec team they worry about me as well, that I'm running off doing sort of like crazy things as well.
Right. Yeah, well, mothers are like that.
They do.
Richard, I have looked forward to this day for quite a while, but thank you so much.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
We'll catch up with the pictures. They are really, really cool.
No problem.
So there's another one in the can. I hope you enjoyed it. I thought it was quite good. It was really interesting. And there is loads more to come. We are discovering people. We're discovering an old guy from Ireland who was involved with the IRA and the troubles. We knew about them. We've discovered musicians. We got a punk musician coming along from the 1980s. We got another drummer. He's a drummer from a band, Crash in Clouds. And great stuff. It's really, really interesting stuff. So keep tuning in, keep watching. We'll get them up as quick as we can. And I hope you enjoyed this one. Whoops, I forgot. Tomorrow afternoon, on Friday, that's Friday afternoon, in a posh cafe in Cardiff called Da Cafe. I've never been there. It's after my time. I am going to be in... Role reversal this is. I am going to be interviewed about this for Wales Online. Oh, is that famous or I don't know whether that's famous. It might not be, it might be. We'll see tomorrow afternoon. Anyway, keep your eye out for Wales Online as well. Sorry I forgot.